Hey you all, how you doing? Mr. Myers is here with you, and I would like to talk about how are we going to do some categorical data stuff, like specifically making segmented bar charts in or segmented bar graphs, however you want to call them, or we call them sometimes stacked bar charts. So how are we going to make a stacked bar chart or a contingency table for categorical variable in a Google spreadsheet, because you're going to need to be able to do this on some sort of project or some sort of real life something. So I might as well teach you how to do it, right? Okay, so let's take a look, and I will open up my spreadsheet now. All right, so I have here a spreadsheet that I used for Google. It's a Google spreadsheet. So you open up a Google spreadsheet and you say new. And I have here a table. It's pretty easy to make a table, right? In a spreadsheet, male, female, Kobe, LeBron, match. By the way, this comes from my my discussion on who is the greatest Laker. Let me kind of show you where this comes from. So in my course, my stats course, what I would do in a lecture format here is that let's suppose I went to a Lakers basketball game and I randomly sampled. This was before time of COVID, of course. I took a random sample of fans and I asked them a question: are you male or female, and which is the greatest Laker of all time? We have four choices here: Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or other. And other, well, number 23 is making a big impact right now too. So these are the totals. So I have Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and I changed this. This should say LeBron James, not Magic Johnson. So we're gonna go LeBron James, Magic Johnson. I guess I changed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar here. And then now we have our totals. And what we did was we took our totals and we did some percentages, and we found the percentage of the conditional percentage of males that chose Kobe as their favorite, the best Laker of all time, and that was 51%. And then on a segmented bar chart here, I did 51%. I went up to 51%. Then I did LeBron here. LeBron was 25%, so I added 25% more. And then I did Magic Johnson, so then I added 14% more, and then others 10, so then I added the 10% more, and I get my segmented bar chart. And then what we want to do is we want to be able to see look, is there a relationship between whether you're male and female and who you decided was the greatest Laker of all time? So the way we figured that out is we see if there's any differences. If there are differences in the conditional percentages, then we would say that the two variables are not independent or do have a relationship. And I believe I explained that in a previous video. So this is just another example. Now, but the question is, how do we do this on a Google spreadsheet? Because digitally we're going to need to be able to do this so that we can, if we're going to do a project or a presentation of some sort, how do we do that? All right, so I have my table here, and it's really pretty straightforward. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's say we want just one bar chart, right? Let's just say we want one bar chart. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go just the male, and then we're going to do the player, and then we're going to click on, we can click on the 3 button here, or we can put insert. All right, so we're going to insert a chart. All right, and if you click the 3 button, or you don't have the 3 button, you still have this little chart, insert chart. All right, we insert the chart, and as soon as my computer stops thinking for so long, it'll insert the chart. And I get a chart that looks like this. So we've got a bar chart, and I can shrink the bar chart. I can change it. In fact, I can even change it so that it's not, right now it's horizontal. I can change it to be vertical. So if I click over here on chart editor, I can change it to vertical. I can change it so that I'm looking at, instead of having the famous Laker here and male there, I can switch the rows and columns, and then it'll change it to male and then show me each of those that way. I don't really like that. I kind of like that better here. I can customize this and change my scales, right? So instead of in my horizontal axis, instead of having, I can have them slant labels, so they can, slant them like that, give you a little bit more room. Okay, if the vertical axis, I can change this. let's see, I can change this to a percent. Well, that doesn't really work. So, well, it's because it's money. Yeah, how much they're worth. It's because I didn't have them as percentages in the first place, so it's not going to change to percentages. I'd have to total them up and put the percentages in there. Okay, so we don't want that, though. We want a segmented bar chart. So what we're going to do is, okay, let me go ahead and delete this chart and show you how to put a segmented bar chart. So we are going to highlight the whole thing, and then we're going to go to Insert Chart, and then it should customize this to a segmented bar chart for us. So, because it realizes, it kind of knows that that's what we're doing. And I need to go and I need to change this to vertical. Okay, so we've got vertical here. Now, that's not what we want, right? We don't want this to be, we want it to be all 100%. So what I want to do is change my stacking to 100%. And I don't want it to be Kobe, LeBron, Magic. I want it to be male and female because I want it to match up to what I had right here. All right, 2 stacks there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change to switch rows and columns. And there we go. Now I have my segmented bar chart just like I had showed you on the notebook right there. So now what I could do too is I could change, I could label this, if I wanted to format what it is, I can do any bunch of formats, okay? So I don't think there's any grid lines that I have to do here, but I could. So there's all these options you could do, and I would let, I'd have you kind of explore that on your own. I'm not going to go over all of these options in the video, but you can kind of change these. But this right here, this is, enough to put it on a presentation form. Now, you're going to need to explain what these percentages are and that these percentages are in fact different, right? They're different percentages. So one way to do that is to take these tables here and do a sum. So I'm going to say is equal to sum, and I'm going to say it's the sum of these. I'm going to highlight, hit enter, and then I'm going to have the total. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing here, equals sum. And so all I'm doing now is I'm finding those marginal totals. And this is changing because I highlighted that and it's thinking I have to do this fourth one. So what I'm going to do is after I do the sums, I'm going to edit this chart. I can edit this chart. Let's see if it comes up here. And I don't want, see how it's going from A2 to C2. That one's fine, but the y-axis, let's see the series here, Kobe. See, it's going A7 to C7. I don't want that one in here, so I'm just going to remove that one. It's now removed. It removed the totals here. It might happen when I put these guys in here too. But anyway, what I would do here is I would find the percentages for this. So I create a new table. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a new table. Control C. Okay, Control V that. Just create a new table. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just do the division. So I'm going to do 120 divided by, okay, I'm going to go equals 120 divided by 236. And then it's going to give me the percentage right there. Okay, and if I don't want that, I can format this into a percent. So now I have the percent. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do equals 58 divided by 236. And you know what? That should get me the same percentage that I got when I did it, when I calculated it on my thing. 50, 51, 25, right? So I've got 50, 24. Okay, so that's nice. So now I'm going to change it to percentages. And then now I can compare the percentages and I can find out whether I have independent or not independent. And since these have differences, I would say that the variables gender and or sex and which they decided was their favorite Laker, or the best Laker of all time, those two variables are not independent, or there is a relationship between. In fact, you're more likely to choose LeBron if you're a female than if you are male, because these are the two that have the much different percentages. Okay, so that's how you do categorical data to find stack bar charts or from a contingency table in a Google Spreadsheet. I don't know why I put so many pauses. Okay, guys, I hope this helps. We'll see you next time. Later.